Hello everybody and welcome to another broadcast of Wartburg Overwatch. Tonight, NECC gameplay in Division 6. It's going to be a matchup between Wartburg College and Grandview University. As we're going to get started straight away on Samoa. Take you straight into the game. Wasting no time today. My name is Chris, whichever you prefer to call me. I'm the one running the six, as always, here in the broadcast room. Actually, set up the camera. I just realized the teams are on the wrong sides of our graphics, so I will swap and update that. There you go. You can see it on the Wartburg side. Blurgenturg, Yugatun, Pickled Poet, Biggest of Owls, and the sub for today, YOLO Tolo. And then on the Grandview side, we have Ryan, Rhino, Olka, I don't know if that's S-Powerroy or Spowerroy, Kiwu, and Solim. And the teams are on the way. The obvious pick for Biggest of Owls in the Ana. Pickled Poet on the Ramatra. First blood, though, goes to Grandview. Pick off for YOLO on YOLO Tolo from Okla. First cap goes to Grandview. As they're slowly building up that percent. Pickled Poet doing a great job just staying alive. Biggest of Owls taken down, as was YOLO Tolo there. Pickled Poet just barely staying up. Shielding. Does get to point. Not able to do anything with it, though. A lot of heavy damage, all being focused on Pickled Poet. Ryan Rhino getting put to sleep by Biggest of Owls. So right there, Blurgentur gotten taken down, trying to get a cap from behind. Doesn't end up happening. Yugatun going down there on Soldier. Characters as it stands. Ryan Rhino and Pickled Poet, both tanks on Ramatra. Okla. As I think, yeah, hack on Ramatra. The Kitsune ult from Kiriko of Solim. Rain from above gets the kill on Pickled Poet. And it seems like Grandview is going to take this one no problems. Yugatun, last one standing near point. On Soldier for this round. Wartburg going to have to touch. Seems like YOLO Tolo was on point. They are going to at least send it to overtime. Question is, are they going to be able to do anything else? Blurgenturg gets eventually taken down. Pickled Poet still standing on point. Trying to cap for Wartburg. or everyone for Grandview is there. Biggest of Owls not going to be able to do much with Ana. Yolo Tolo, though, coming in, has to stay on point. Isn't able to, and it seems like that will be it. Game one, or sorry, round one of game one goes to Grandview University on a 100% sweep. Back in the dropship.
I think I can make this worth my time.
Wartburg and Grandview, both teams still looking for their first win of the season. This is, of course, a reschedule from Wartburg's, from Wartburg's spring break. Their next game will be on Friday. Pickled Poet now with the Orisa pick. It's like the same lineup from Grandview, Kiwu on Juno. Just barely staying alive. Kiriko of Solim also just barely staying alive. A nice spear throw there by Pickled Poet. See a little bit of a push-up from Wartburg as they get the cap and they get their first 10%. Nice shield from Ramatra there, able to block the spear, the javelin, sorry. That one goes haywire. Down goes the Juno. Wartburg, though, getting picked off are a quarter of the way to this point. Hack on the Symmetra, my goodness. I don't know where that one came from. On the Pharah. See Biggest of Owls hiding there for just a second. As Wartburg hits halfway. Seems like these two teams might be going back and forth on who takes what points. Neither of them, because they haven't scored at first, have been even able to get a single percent. Closest Grandview got there was just about halfway. Wartburg almost capped during the overtime of the first round. Just wasn't able to do it. There goes Kitsune. Biggest of Owls boosting. Pickled Poet, who has the ult, uses it. Holds on to it for just a little too long to get anyone with the direct hit of it. Eventually picks off Ulka. Ryan Rhino, though, doing a great job with their ult. Able to take down everyone, essentially. A near team wipe there. And Grandview is going to flip it in their favor as Wartburg picks up 91% to start it off. See Blurgentarg in from behind. Just watching all of the action. Trying to pick a time to strike. Bit of a one-on-one, able to get out of it though. Solim goes down. Now contesting on point. Pickled Poet. Yugatun and Blurgaturn both pop their ults. Kiwu pops the Juno. Seems like Wartburg might be able to get the cap here. They'll at least get the cap. The question is if they'll be able to actually finish it. Seems like they will be able to. You see Pharah flying above. Not able to touch point. Even the Lucio rushing in. Picked off by Pickled Poet there at the end. Yolo Tolo. Doesn't carry. Ults don't carry over. Might as well use it. Even if the round is over. 1-1 now. All comes down to point 3 on Samoa. First map here between Grandview University and Wartburg College. Yoloto, the sub for Maragaz today. Someone just made a basket. Spauroy goes the Torbjorn. That is something that I brought up Maragaz for the reason of a pick Maragaz does often make. So Wartburg is used to seeing the Torbjorn just normally on their side. Nice javelin throw. Ryan Rhino almost getting taken down. Pickled Poet just barely staying alive, saved by Biggest of Owls. You saw it there. Yugatun on the side, trying to flank, essentially, Ryan Rhino. As Grandview gets the first cap. Sort of just a stalemate more than anything, though. Pickled Poet does finally go down. Blurgenturg alongside Yolo Tolo. In from behind. Maybe trying to back cap. See that red outline all the way in the distance. Go back over there. See no one really paying attention much to Blurgenturg. Finally coming in, contesting the point. 42%. Kitsune popped. Biggest of Owls goes down after the boost. Missed who it was that he boosted, though. Grandview over halfway. Yugatun goes down. Blurgenturg still alive. Able to get out of there. Almost at least 2/3 of the way, maybe about to be 3/4 of the way through this one for Grandview. In a best of 3, really, no matter what, taking game 1 always matters, but in a best of 3, it's a lot more significant because it's the first step to a potential sweep. And it's just 3 games. It's not that many. Closing in on 90% now is Grandview. Hacking the Torbjorn gets the takedown eventually. Ryan Rhino with the Ramatra ult. Yugatun, though, with the Soldier ult. And it seems like Wartburg might be able to cap it here during the overtime. And they will. A semi-team wipe. Not an actual full team kill, but everyone reset back. Just a little bit staggered. See that rush on the right side. The ult at the ready for Pickled Poet. Trying to push off Ryan Rhino. Isn't able, actually gets taken down himself. Blurgenturg getting down Kiwu. As Grandview are going to take it back. Wartburg have to get on point. Doesn't seem like they'll be able to in time. They won't. 2-1. Game 1 goes to Grandview. Play of the game here, Ryan Rhino. On second map. Yeah, this is that. I think it was the ult that really did well. You see it here. 2-1 in favor to Grandview. They take the first one. Be interesting to see how Wartburg responds. Of course, the map set says hybrid, but it can be either hybrid or the team's choice if they want to choose escort. They are counted as the same. So whenever it says hybrid or it says escort, it could be either or. It's not limited. It'd be interesting to see which one Wartburg goes with. Grandview on the year. Total of 5 map wins. That one puts him up to 6. Wartburg sitting on 4. Again, this one is for the bottom of the standings. Both teams actually might be close to already eliminated from playoff contention. Or at the very least, they're going to have to win out and hope both Buena Vista and Concordia, maybe in Wayne State, essentially as many of those teams lose as possible. Really the only shot they have at making the playoffs. Yeah, it will be top 4. So it'll be very hard for these two teams to make it. There's still a season for a reason. As we still await to see what the pick is. Just realized I typed out Grandview University. That does not look that nice. There we go. That looks a lot nicer. One thing that is interesting about the graphics package we have here, it auto-detects the word university and makes it smaller, because, you know, that's just normally how it goes. However, it doesn't do the same with college, and I think that's kind of just weird to me. And nothing we can really do about it, just kind of how it is. As we still await to see what the picks will be. We'll send it over. Oh, cord's getting caught. To myself on the caster cam. So, a lot of action this week for esports as we're coming back from the spring break. We have, of course, we had Overwatch yesterday with JV. Lost at 1-3-0. We have Overwatch today, Varsity. And tomorrow we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The team will be playing as we still await the picks. Oh my goodness, the hair. Apologies for the mic noises, but the hair is just not looking that great right now. That's a little better. But yes, tomorrow Mario Kart. It is what it is. Tomorrow we have Mario Kart. Then, of course, the standard NECC time slot of Overwatch will be on Friday. Both teams will be playing. Varsity will be on stream, I believe, unless things happen and one of the games gets pushed back. But it should be both teams playing on Friday. Then on Sunday, well, also Mario Kart has 2 games on Friday. Those will not be streamed as we will be streaming the Overwatch games. And then on Sunday, 3 games of Mario Kart 8. As it looks, we're going to go to Shambali Monastery. Catch you in the game. Also, it's nice enough to wear shorts finally. So we're wearing shorts in the broadcast room. Switch it back. It is, again, like I said, where is it? There it is. Teams are able to choose an escort instead of a hybrid. It's sort of a either or. I believe it is team first picks the game mode. The losing team. Excuse me. The losing team first picks the game mode, and then, yes, loser picks either hybrid or escort, and then the winner bans a map, and the loser will pick after that. Thing that might change, though, is the side the team will be on. We'll see if Wartburg will stay attacking first. That is up to Grandview. Still nothing yet. Of course, we still haven't, I've played a few games, still haven't hit that elusive endorsement rank 2. So we'll get there. Here we go. As the teams go in. It will be Wartburg on the attack first. Great view of this map. Picked quite often. It's a very nice looking map too. I love wintry feels. Out come Grandview. Give me interested to see where they set up. Very common to see teams set up from atop of the, not bridge in this map, but sort of balcony right there as you see as I run into the railing. But some teams, they go with the classic right out of the gate. Seems like though they will be going with straight from above the street. Ramatra, Sojourn, Farah. Oh, I moved the mouse there. Kiriko and Anna the picks for Grandview. Pickle Poet busting out the Winston. I'll see him coming up the stairs. Fired on by the Farah. Yugatun. Classic pick of May for her. My goodness, I love the ragdoll physics they have in Euro shooters. Winston goes flying across the map. May in the icicle. Almost a halfway push to the first checkpoint for Wartburg. Gonna have to deal with that Farah in the air, though. It's been a nuisance the entire time that Sproy has been playing it. Lergenturg actually making the switch to Farah as well. Solom has the first ult at the ready. The Ana power up. Does use it on Ryan Rhino, my goodness. See Lergenturg flying in the air. Almost taking out Olka. Losing the Farah fight though. Yolo Tolo pops the Juno ult. Big Stavals has theirs. Ryan Rhino with the Ramatra ult. Pickle Poet barely loses out to the Farah. Big Stavals actually missed who was boosted by that. Lergenturg does have the Farah ult. Rain from above. Yugatun also with Blizzard. Anti-heal applied. Olka, Spauroy, and Kiwu, all for Grandview, have theirs at the ready, though. Pickle Poet does seem just a few more hits. Does have Berserk. Uses it. Gets at least one. Trying to make it at 2. 89 health, barely living. Does get out of there. Ryan Rhino finally goes down. Farah still alive. Picked up a health pack. And gets out. First checkpoint. About to be hit for Wartburg. Kiwu does pop the Kitsune. Solom with the ult. Pickle Poet goes down. Yugatun goes down. Lergenturg on Soldier now. Less than a quarter of a meter for Wartburg to cross, and they aren't able to just yet. That first checkpoint, they're going to have about 40 seconds to regroup and get back. Seems like it's going to get pushed to around 7.5 meters, if not just the 5. Still going backwards. Wartburg has now 20 seconds to go in and do something. Soldier right now doing a great job for Blurgenturg. Ryan Rhino goes down. Point still contested. Payload, sorry. There it is, that first checkpoint. That's going to give Wartburg an extra 2.5 minutes. Ana barely staying alive, eventually gets taken down by Pickled Poet. Now, Wartburg moving alongside the payload. Blurgenturg getting set up. Sort of a big of a way to pop out potentially. See Ryan Rhino getting set up. Blurgenturg just waited one more second. Would have been there already. Both support ults at the ready for Wartburg. If Yolo Tolo, biggest of Owls does, I think, use it on Pickled Poet, who eventually goes down. Yolo Tolo still staying alive. Just for a second, I meant to say holding on to that. Wartburg, 1.5 minutes to go before hitting that second checkpoint. Get about 2/3 of the way there. Yugatoon, Pickled Poet, Yolo Tolo all have their ults for Wartburg. It's going to be Olka, Solem, and Spowroy who have their ults for Grandview. Spowroy has been the real trouble for Wartburg, unable to deal with the Pharah. Blurgenturg did go Pharah for a little bit in this round. Eventually decided that the hit scan would be a better choice. See, interesting to see when Yugatoon uses Blizzard. There it is. Does get taken down. Blurgenturg able to finish off Spowroy. Ryan Rhino, the only one left standing for Grandview. Staying alive. Pickled Poet had to use the ult. Still unable, though, to get Ryan Rhino. Doing a great job of just staying alive. Solem back and down, though. Ryan Rhino finally goes down. Both TPS for Grandview have their ults. Minute 52 for Wartburg to push this payload as far as possible, barring any overtime, of course. Blurgenturg really leading the line here for Wartburg in terms of first contact. And of course, Pickled Poet, the tank, always follows through. Kiwu, Kitsune, sent forward. Pickled Poet, barely alive. Just over a minute to go for Wartburg on their attack here. Ryan Rhino, Okla, Spowroy, all have their ults. Kiwu does go down, so they're down to support. Ryan Rhino finally uses that Ramatra ult. Pickled Poet having to run away from it. Has Berserk, though. It's interesting. Will Biggest of Owls boost Pickled Poet before going in on Berserk? There's the boost. When will Berserk happen? If it does. Going into the back line. Trying to create as much chaos as possible. There goes Berserk, just barely staying alive. Biggest thing here. Going for the supports. Drops down on the Ana. 15 seconds. Wartburg halfway to that last checkpoint. Barely staying alive and will get back to the payload. Will Pickled Poet. As they're about to hit overtime. Yugatoon, Blizzard at the ready. Uses it instantly. Very smart there. Freezes Ryan Rhino. Kiwu goes down. Team wipe. And that'll be the final push needed for Wartburg. Able to pick up all 3 points there after what seemed like it was going to be a very rocky start. Apologies for the lack of movement of the camera there. One thing that I don't really understand about Overwatch, how it just kind of resets the payload to right before it touches. Wartburg now getting ready to go in on attack, or on defense, excuse me. Grandview going to be going on attack. Both Wartburg and Grandview seem to be going same picks. Wartburg also setting up right on that porch. Grandview are released. Lurgenter going to run in from the side. And she backs out of it. As Grandview hit the choke point. Ryan Rhino, first blood. Taken up by Lurgenter. Winston of Pickle Poet just dives in as far as possible. We might actually start a little bit of backwards progression. They do. Payload now moving backwards. Pretty easy to recap for Grandview here if they are able to touch. Wartburg doing a great job of just stalling on the initial. Lot of chaos happening in that stairwell. Good job on the May wall. Ryan Rhino just barely able to back out of it. Pickle Poet put to sleep. Blurgenturg coming from the side trying to get Solim the Ana. Sojourn of Olka. Spalroy going Venture. An interesting change there. Doing so well with Farah. Eventually deciding probably not to move anymore. Pickled Poet on Spalroy. Was not able to steal that. Gets put to sleep right as Berserk starts. Chasing, just going straight after. The support's unable to do much though. Maywall goes up, back into the back line. Gets two. Both supports taken out. They do both have their ults. Yolo Tolo has it now for Wartburg in the support side. Biggest of Val's used it to boost Pickle Poet there, I believe. I wasn't able to see the actual lines on it. Yugatoon still up on that balcony. A headshot there on Solim. Has Blizzard at the ready. When will she use it? Walls off. Brian Rhino with the Ramatra, who does have their ult. Everyone except for Spalroy the Torbjorn. Interesting pick. Seems just sort of be experimenting at this point. Trying to figure out what will work to get this push going. The dive in. Olka uses the ult, instantly gets taken out. Spalroy, Solim, Kiwu, all but Ryan Rhino down. Make it all 5. A team wipe for Wartburg. 40 seconds to go. Grandview have to hit this first checkpoint. See Biggest of Owls staying on the sideline, doing everything he can to just keep the teammates alive. Less than 30 seconds they have to hold. Both supports doing an absolute outstanding job making sure that their teammates have been able to stay alive. Ryan Rhino gets taken down. Kiwu pops the Kitsune. Eventually also put down. Tracer pick from Olka. Staying alive just barely. Gets taken out, though. Overtime comes and goes. Wartburg make it a 1-1 series. Pickled Poet, of course, play of the game. I think this was, yeah, that pickoff of Spowroy. Absolute outstanding. Eventually finish it off. The team wipe. 2-1-0-3. Back and forth. And it's going to be interesting to see what the choices from Grandview on push. Most common map we've seen, I think, is Coliseo. Could, of course, be wrong on that, though. Really the only one that we... Yeah, I think it's Coliseo is the most common pick. At least from what I've seen. Rune Sapi is actually one that I don't think I've ever seen picked in these games. Unsure if it's just because it's banned constantly or if it's just teams aren't picking it, but most of the time it's either Esperanza or Coliseo. 1-1 the score. We get ready to see what the push will be. I don't know why I did that one. That one wasn't great, I'll be honest. These teams haven't done a great job of preventing sweeps. So no matter what, they're guaranteed at least to be able to hold that high. Wartburg has been the victim of, well, I guess in this, only one sweep. In the NECC, only one sweep. Closest game they've had, though, to a win was against Doan. Doan. I actually don't know how to pronounce that one. That one was a 2-3, came down to the last game. As for Grandview, it is shortened to GV. Grandview, they've also had a 3-2 finish. That one was against Saginaw Valley State. Haven't actually gotten swept, though. Always been at least able to pick up one. In terms of overall standings for the Overwatch Division 6 Central A division, it's sorted weird. I don't know, like, because it's Division 6, but then it's sort of essentially the Central A division. It's weird. It's interesting how they name things. But Northwestern College, their JV side, 4-0 on top. Then it's Doan, 4-1. Saginaw Valley State, 3-2. Wayne State College, 2-2, as well as Concordia, Nebraska, and Buena Vista. Looks like we're going to be going to New Queen Street. Or is this, our system likes to call it, simply Toronto. Which it's weird that it calls it Toronto instead of New Queen Street, because there are longer ones that it has the full name for. Like Watch Point Gibraltar. That's got its full name. I don't know. I didn't make the system. It is what it is. Seems like... Sure, there might have been a substitution on the Grandview side, actually. Yes, there has. Gonna wait to see if that's set in stone or what's going on with that. Here we go. New Queen Street. Welcome to Toronto. The paths that will be carved out. Side for Grandview, I believe. Almost just ran into the wall there. The teams come out. Both teams with a Winston this time. It seems like it's going to be. Yeah, and there has been a substitution for Kiwo. Ty McGee, 3-3-3. We follow Pickle Poet. Blazing the trail for Wartburg. Olka on Tracer. Spowroy on Torbjorn. Ty McGee on Lucio. Solim with the Moira pick. Yugatune changes over to Venture. Everything else for Wartburg stays the same. It'll be interesting to see if and when Pickled Poet decides to pull out the hazard pick. Does get taken down. There is first blood. Lurgenturg from afar. Dashing into the bridge. Takes down the turret. Yugatune from the window. House take out Spowroy. Grandview hold up. Yugatune gets taken out before she can tunnel. Let's see what'll happen. Pickle Poet able to dash out. Push is a very interesting game mode, pretty unlike anything else in other games. Pickled Poet gets taken down. Nice use of the thrust there. Big Savalas gets taken out by Olka, but yeah, Push is very different from really anything else as Grandview hits the checkpoint to move their spawn. It's essentially an escort, a payload push for both teams at the same time. That makes it really quite longer than most game modes, naturally. But it's the fact that the robot can just swing either direction. That is really anything unlike anything else. Ryan Rhino pops the ult. Down goes Tai. Pickled Poet picks up the health pack. Lurgaturg went down. Yugatune barely, finally goes down. Pickled Poet does have Berserk, is going to use it. I thought he was going to hold it for just a little bit longer. Lurgaturg now going Reaper. Halfway from the checkpoint. Now the robot gets turned around. Pickle Poet drops the bubble. Able to hop out. Spowroy uses a Torbjorn. Yugatune, Biggest Vows, YOLO Tolo all pop their ults for Wartburg. It's going to lead to the robot swing in the opposite direction. Not even past the checkpoint, though. Not yet, at least. Pickle Poet barely staying. Does stay alive, just barely. Attack from behind, though. The Tracer running around. Wartburg hits halfway. That's going to reset the spawn of Grandview. Olka throws out the time bomb, little pressure bomb. Solim, the Moira ult, gets 2 for Wartburg. Right next to the checkpoint. Grandview will hit it. Wartburg haven't had any offense in this one so far. Lurgaturg on the side. A reset. Tracer comes in with Moira alongside them. Hit the wrong button there. Switched off of it. Was able to escape though. Yugatoon digs. Gonna pop out right next to the Lucio. Give a little bit of damage in there. Lucio does have their ult. Ryan Rhino though uses Berserk. Pickle Poet has it as well. Is gonna counter with it. 2 gorillas angry and fighting. Biggest of Owls, Moira ult is go. Throws out the damage ball. Pick a Poet, take it down. Biggest of Owls, barely staying alive. Lurgenturg has Reaper ult. It's taking out a half health. Spowroy. 3 ults about to be 4. Spowroy uses the Torbjorn ult. Pickle Poet going Ramatra. Try to stop this momentum. Yolo Tolo uses the Lucio, but as does Tai Tai. Solim's Moira ult was the thing that took down Yolo Tolo. Pickle Poet staying alive. Lurgenturg gets 2 with the Reaper ult. Gets taken down eventually, though. Almost a 120-meter push for Grandview. Ryan Rhino barely staying alive, able to pop Berserk. Things going everywhere. Olka still alive, but gets the health back. Yugatoon has the Venture ult. In behind. Tracer of Olka. There goes the Venture ult. Gonna have to find a way to make it count. Did with the pickoff of Tai Tai. Pickled Poet, Ramatra ult is go. Biggest of Owls did have the Moira ult, used it. And again, an essential team wipe as Wartburg is going to move the robot back. They're going to have about 2:30 in order to get their offense at least near where Grandview had theirs. They're going to hit the middle checkpoint. It's going to reset the spawn. Now the push starts for Wartburg. Lurgenturg on Farah. Instant contest by Grandview. Torbjorn has been a great nuisance pick for Grandview. Does have the ult ready, but was picked off by Blurgenturg. Oh, Blurgenturg hits the wall there. Gets taken down. And here comes Grandview. Checkpoint flipped. They're going to spawn in just that bit closer. Yugatun from the side, trying to pick off the supports. Great job going unnoticed so far, at least nothing being paid attention to her. Big Sval's on Moira. The Moira, the Grandview goes down. Yolatolo did use the Juno ult there. Spalroy unable to escape. 4 ults at the ready. Grandview is going to have an amazing defense here. Olka might as well consider the pulse bomb ready with what little percent is left to go on it. Lurgenturk does have Farah's ult, and Pickle Poet very close to having. There it is, rain from above. Nothing used yet though by Grandview. Olka has the ult, everything ready. Moira ult is go. 10 seconds. Wartburg's going to have to rely almost entirely on overtime. Spalroy uses the Torbjorn ult. Gets taken out though. Olka with the pulse bomb throw. Also gets taken out. Tai gets taken out, unable to use the Lucio ult. Ryan Rhino with the Berserk. Pickled Poet using Ramatra ult. That's going to send Grandview back. All but Lucio's ult used by Grandview. Yugatun, the closest one for Wartburg to having theirs ready. Did get taken out though. Pickled Poet, Lurgenturg, the last 2 bastions for Wartburg here. As we're in overtime, there's a team wipe, and it seems like that will be it. It is. Wartburg just couldn't get it going. At least not until it was too late. Play of the game here, Ryan Rhino. I thought I hit the transition button. There we go. See there, 1-0. It'll update to Grandview. Total scores 2-0. One win away for Grandview for their first win of the season. Seems like no time wasted. Suravasa might be the pick here. Wait to see when we get in if that's the true pick. Seems like it should be though. 9 times out of 10 when it's the map that shows up at all, will be the default pick. I think connection issues. One of the Wartburg players dropped. Wait for them to get back in before anything happens. Thank you so much, everyone who is tuning in to this stream of Wartburg College Esports Overwatch 2 NECC play against Grandview University. You see it there, 2-1 in favor of Grandview. Said it earlier, there is quite a bit going on this week. It's the return from break at the JV game yesterday. currently practicing Mario Karters right next to me. Just a few expletives being thrown around for a children's game, as you would expect with anything Nintendo. Things seem to be all good now. To get the confirm. Still waiting. Of course, I said it earlier, but still have not reached the rep level required to actually see the game chat, which is just a little bit annoying. Here we go. Into Suravasa. Flashpoint, also a very interesting game mode. Just in the way that is set up, Suravasa a very common pick for when it shows up. See the Wartburg players in their spawn.
We're still alive and kicking.
Still young at heart, I see. 3, 2, 1.
There they go. Bastion, the pick from Blurgenturg. Yugatun now on Soldier 76, biggest of Owls, going on a Yolo Tolo with Juno. For Grandview, Ryan Rhino on Junker Queen. Olka, the one on Genshi. Spalroy back to Pharah. Worked out quite well for them in the first game. We see one of my Overwatch friends stopped playing the game. Red Beanstalk of the Junior Varsity team. Which I think Red Beanstalk might be just the overall sub. First Blood, Pickle Poet picking off Solim, the Moira. Ryan Rhino, as with Tai Tai, Olka, 4 taken out. Wartburg gets first cap. And they're going to be the first one to make some progress here in Flashpoint. Shield up. Blurgenturg gets taken out eventually. Pickle Poet, Yolo Tolo, the last two standing. Make that just Pickle Poet on point. Wartburg gonna hit 50%. Do eventually all get taken out though. 54 to be exact. Yugatun, first one back up, first one in contact with Grandview. As it seems like Olka is going to be the first one to get their ult ready. Yugatun going for a back cap. Gets chased down by Olka. The rewind. Dashes away. Gets the kill on Yugatun, stopping that from happening. Bastion into turret mode for Blurgenturg. Boosted. Has the ult ready. Pickle Poet used theirs. Yoloto gets taken out. Spalroy picked off. And a perk equipped. Blurgenturg, you saw it there. Pick a Poet. Knows where that Tracer is. Yolotolo, Junker Queen ult popped. Spalroy gets taken out after getting Blurgenturg with rain from above. 99% for Wartburg. They're in overtime. Ryan Rhino gets taken out, as does everyone essentially for Wartburg. This first point already seeming very interesting. Blurgenturg uses the ult. Hit much with it there. I don't think I've actually ever seen the Bastion ult before. Did get taken out. First flashpoint goes to Grandview. Torbjorn pick now from Blurgenturg. Pickle Poet on Ramatra still. Olka with the pulse bomb hits Blurgenturg. Did get taken out though. Tai able to be part of that kill on Biggest of Owls. Almost picked off there. Cap goes to Grandview. Solim on Moira now. Uses the ult. Pickled Poet uses the Ramatra ult. Does eventually get taken down. Moira, the last one left on point. Olka is there, though. Solim able to get out. As Wartburg will cap just under 50 for Grandview. Olka able to get out. Almost taken down there. Fully contested. Just a few ults flying. Wartburg gives up point. Grandview getting closer and closer to taking this game. More importantly, this series. Yugatoon has the soldier ult at the ready. Pickled Poet. Alongside the rest of his team. Spalroy, Tai have ults at the ready for Grandview. Yugatoon, Yolotolo for Wartburg. Yolotolo uses theirs. Spalroy uses rain from above. Gets taken out though by Yugatoon using the soldier ult. Blurgenturg popping the Torbjorn ult. Gets a kill. Overtime. Olka, the last one standing. As Wartburg caps Grandview at 99%. See all of Grandview regrouping. Solim is about to have, and does have, the Moira ult. Olka uses Pulse Bomb. Big Ol' Poet the closest to having theirs for Wartburg. So we're about to hit 90% on the percentage for Wartburg. Wartburg dropping just a bit. Moira ult is active. As is the Ramatra ult. Pickled Poet doing a great job making that last stand. However, Grandview is going to cap, and they will take their second point. Wartburg will need the full reverse 3-0. Seconds to go. Ryan Rhino, the only one with an ult ready. First one in, waiting to use it. Biggest of Owls has the boost for Ana. Ryan Rhino uses it. Biggest of Owls goes down. Tai goes down. Both supports down for Wartburg. Olka, though, down for Grandview. Wartburg seem like they are going to get the first cap here on third point. And they will. %10 gone. Yugatun having to dash back a quarter of the way for Wartburg. Olka's been doing an outstanding job on Tracer for Grandview. Yugatun pulled back. Spalroy has rain from above. Olka uses Pulse Bomb. Wartburg over 50% on the cap. Yugatun very close to having the Soldier ult. Down goes Pickled Poet, though, and that was the last one standing on the point for Wartburg. Lurgenturg. Hanzo. I don't think I've seen a single Hanzo in the competitive play of Wartburg. Yugatun, Pickled Poet, Spalroy, Solim, the ults, all of those ready. YOLO Tolo, though, about to have it. It'll be interesting to see if they use it. They will. Rain from above, though. Spalroy, Tai, Solim, Yugatun, all of these ults flying. YOLO Tolo goes down. Pickled Poet using theirs. They're going to have to do something. They're going to have to hold on. They won't be able to. Lurgenturg has to touch point. Someone does at least. It seems like might be the best chance of it. Yugatun dashing in 90% now for Grandview. Wartburg have to make the touch at the minimum. Contested, they are able to. YOLO Tolo able to fly in. Junker Queen ult used. Olka has Pulse Bomb. Pushed off. Wartburg once again down to Pickled Poet. Only one left standing on point. Not going to be enough, though. Goes down. YOLO Tolo not able to get there in time. Grandview takes it. 3-0 sir on Suravasa. 3-1 on the day. Final score as we see the Ryan Rhino play of the game. Wartburg stay winless. Grandview get their first of the season. And I think that might be what knocks Wartburg out of playoff contention. For certain. Not what you wanted to see for the Berg. As now the playoffs in NECC all lie in the hand of the JV squad. MVEC playoffs, though, coming up soon. I think we might soon have an actual full standings, final standings for the MVEC. You've been waiting for one final game between Co and Gustavus to be played out. Seems like that might have finally... That was supposed to take place at the same time as this game, so it should be done very soon, if not already. But Wartburg moves to 0-5 on the season. This one hasn't really been the greatest for them. Thank you so much for tuning in to this broadcast of Wartburg College Esports Overwatch 2 NECC play. We'll catch you tomorrow for Mario Kart. And if you're only interested in the Overwatch side, Friday, once again, at 7. Again, I've been Chris, Crick, whichever you prefer to call me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great night.